Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm here with the Infernity Chimera Fiendsmith test hands. I'm so sorry, I really wanted to upload this yesterday, but yesterday I was busier than expected, so I couldn't sadly film. But today I had the time, so here we are with the Infernity Chimera Fiendsmith test hands. In these test hands I will show you how to combo with the deck while talking about dodging hand traps, playing around hand traps, and just in general how to perfectly pilot the deck. And yeah, of course, that will be all showcased in this video. So yeah, enjoy and learn, of course, and let me know what you all would like to see next. I'll make it happen as soon as possible. If I like the idea, let me know in the comments and I'll answer as soon as possible. But yeah, for this video we will be doing Infernity Chimera Fiendsmith test hands. I hope to do in real life gameplay soon. I still have to await if I can film at locals. I still have to await from the owner his answer, so I can do local vlogs maybe. But yeah, also in real life gameplay just in general will come soon with this variant and all kinds of variants. Let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, it will happen soon. I also want to do Infernity Chimera Fiendsmith on Master Duel soon, so I expect that also really quick. But yeah, let's just get into the video, enjoy and learn. We will be doing 5 test hands, just like every test hand video, and if you want more test hands for this deck, let me know in the comments. Enjoy and learn. Yes, let's get into the first test hand. Be sure to watch the deck profile, it was my latest video after this one, of course. Also in the descriptions I always post the full deck list in a Neuron deck list, in a Neuron variant. So you can click on the link for the full deck list. In Neuron, make sure to follow me also on Neuron if you want to, so you can check all my deck lists directly via my profile. But yeah, let's get into the first test hand. What will we have here? We will have OG Poly, Mirror Sword Knight, Infinite Impermanence, Nightmare Apprentice, and Infernity Barrier. Alright, this sure is a hand, because what we are going to do here first is we're going to bait the Ash Blossom with the Nightmare Apprentice, because we will summon it by discarding. We will discard Imperm in this case. Depending if they charm meet you or not, you will discard the Imperm in this hand, because if they charm meet you, then Imperm is really the only attribution you can get. Because you will just play into the Null Charmy and get to Archfiend, but then you will have hand trapped a lot of dozen times. Yeah, Infernity really doesn't have a great way in outing Charmies. That's why I would recommend to play as many, for example, in your side or main deck, Trust, for example, and Solemn cards, because if you open an Imperm, because if you open them, you can set them if you get Charmied. You just have interruption in the form of those cards, but Charmies are really hard for Infernity, unlike Maxi, because with Maxi we will just deck out, just go for the Maxi challenge. But Charmies are much more, are much better against Infernity, because we can deck them out, but yeah, Charmies just suck. Mistake design cards for real. But yeah, Apprentice here, effect will activate, and if you then get Ashed or Impermed on this, you have Mirror Sword Knight, which is really great. But yeah, we will search here. You can search here for the Coatl, because you already have Mirror Sword Knight in hand. If you get drawled here, however, you can just go summon Mirror Sword Knight, use the effect, summon Gazelle from deck, fuse Gazelle with Cornfield. So you can make Chimera, and then you just go for Fiendsmith line, so you can still end on Caesar and Rage. And with a hand trap, of course, because you have used Chimera the Flying Mythical Beast, which is really nice. So this hand, sure, draw's always annoying, but you can still do shit under draw. But we will search here Cornfield and use Cornfield here, because if they haven't ashed this already, then you can maybe bait it out with this card. What we are going to search here is for a gazelle. Then we can normal summon Mirror Sword Knight, use the effect. And if that gets ashed, we still have gazelle in hand. And poly, of course. Go for gazelle effect to search. Chimera Fusion, because we are not on Berfumet. You can run Berfumet like set in a deck profile, but this isn't really needed. Also, it's a brick, you risk again. And the only thing does for Infernity is revive an illusion for grave. Extra body, you know, it's nice, but not needed. Also, Chimera Fusion is not once per turn to fuse, so it isn't bad at all. But yeah, further on with the hand, I'm so sorry. Activate Chimera Fusion. We will fuse Gazelle with Nightmare Apprentice, of course. Gazelle from hand. We are going to summon Berfumet here, use Berfumet effect to dump. And then chaining with the Gazelle, of course, to search out an illusion monster, if I'm correct. An illusion monster, yeah, sometimes. No, it has two effects. What you can search is another Nightmare Apprentice, or, you know, Mirror Sword Knight. I go for the extra Mirror Sword Knight. For example, if it gets Bestialed in Graveyard, you still have the other one to negate. And then, of course, Berfumet will dump. You can dump Harris here or Stygian, it doesn't really matter. But to be safe, we'll go for Harris, and Harris search Archfiend, of course. Then what we are going to do is use Chimera Fusion again to add back to hand, which is really great. And then what we are going to do is activate Poly here, so Poly away the Mirror Sword Knight and the Gazelle. You can also do Archfiend. Go for Chimera effect to hand rip in end phase. Then we will link these off. Into Moon, of course, and Moon into Requiem, and then Requiem into Lacrima. Use the effect. Dump the Engraver. Also, if they nip here, you have Chimera Fusion for Duke of Demise to chain, because then, and then Duke effect in Graveyard to add Engraver back, which is really nice. But yeah, you will summon the Lacrima here. Then we'll go for activate Engraver effect, because it's really the only option we have right now. We can Chimera Fusion into Duke, but we don't have an extra normal summon on hand. I always like to bounce the Moon first, because, you know, if they still hand trap you, you can summon Requiem with Lacrima in the opponent's turn, which is nice. You know, it's not really an interruption, but it's nice to have. Go for sequence here, activate sequence effect. Fuse away Requiem and Lacrima. Fuse to Aerial Eater here, use Aerial Eater effect. We are going to dump Stygian here, our beloved boy. We need a retrain of this, Conan. We need a retrain of Stygian, please. We really need. It will be so sick to see Stygian retrain for Infernity. But yeah, we will set, of course, our cards. Use Stygian effect to banish and summon out Archfiend. Archfiend effect to search. We're going to search out the Patriarch here. Special Patriarch. Go for Dugares effect. Summon back Archfiend effect to search. We can go multiple lines. Sorry. My bad. We'll go for Reaper here. We will link these off into Cross Sheep. Activate Reaper, summon out Archfiend effect, chain Cross Sheep. Cross Sheep summons back a level 4 or lower. So we are going to summon back. You know, it doesn't really matter what you summon. I'll just go for Patriarch for the extra Infernity name. Always good. Then what we are going to do here is search out Launcher. Activate the Launcher. Link these off into Yama. Use Yama effect to search. Sharvara, it's directly there already. Then what we are going to do here now is we will link Yama and Patriarch into Rage. Use effect Sharvara, target the Chimera Fusion that you have set. Use Yama effect to summon back. Of course, Archfiend effect to search. Search out Necromancer, use Launcher effect to discard. Then we are going for overlay these two. For Wave Viking Caesar. Then we can link Crossheap and Archfiend off into Moon. Use the effect of Launcher. Target Archfiend, Necromancer. Archfiend effect to search. We can search here for another Necromancer. Yeah, you could have also summoned, instead of Archfiend first, you can summon Patriarch. But to be fair, we don't really need the extra body right now, because otherwise we will clog up our own board. Make a bow here, use a bow effect, summon back Necromancer. Necromancer start Archfiend effect to search. Go here for Muckraker. Use the effect of Muckraker targeting Archfiend, just Archfiend, because I'll show why. Summon Archfiend effect. You already set a barrier, so you search here for another barrier. We played safe to play around hand traps. You could have also, if you gone not safe, you would have ended also on break. But we played safe, of course, and this is what the end board will looks like. So a hand trip for one with Chimera, of course. A bow comes back, and then your opponent's turn, you can use Rage to make SP, and you have another great interruption that is, I think it was Chimera. Chimera will banish itself, and you summon out Baphomet back. And then you have the targeting protection in the form of Coatl, so a targeting negate, and also just a monster negate in the form of Mirror Sword Knight. So you add 2 extra interruptions to the board. So you have 1, 2, 3 of Rage because you link away, you summon SP effect, SP's other effect. So 3, then 2 of Baphomet, which is 5, then 6, 7 into the 2 barriers. And then 8, 9 with Caesar. And then if you also had break, then 10 interruptions, which is crazy. Yeah, when this deck goes off, you end on a truly great board. And also a hand trip for 1, which is crazy. So your opponent can't really play the game. But that's how Infernity always has been. Yeah, that was it for the first test hand. I hope my yapping helps in between just about how to play against hand traps. But let me know if I should talk less or talk even more. But yeah, let's get into the next time for the second test hand. Also, I'm still testing out ratios and shit. Like, I also am considering to run Ash Blossom. You know, Ash is like one of the best ways to counter Charmies right now. And we are kind of in the Charmy meta. So yeah, but I'm still testing ratios and shit. I'm currently really enjoying the deck as it is now. But you know, we can get Ash out pretty easily in this variant. Why? Because you can Duke of the Mice. I recently also discovered, you know, you can use zombie monsters as material for this card. So if you open too many Ash, you can just fuse it away with Chimera Fusion for Duke of the Mice, for example, or just with regular Poly. But yeah, I'm still testing ratios and stuff. But yeah, Ash is really great. I also ran it in the Millennium variant. Yeah, at the nationals, shit, now that I think about it, I still have to make my nationals report. I'll probably do it in post. I don't really know. I can just also make a post about it instead of a video. But yeah, let's get into the next test hand. What do we see here? Actually a pretty crazy hand. We have the called by. Always nice to see the called by. Ghost Bell's not a real card. But yeah, this is a pretty crazy hand. If they have draw, you have called by. But if they had, for example, Fuelos, you had to use the called by on the Fuelos. But you know who draws after they Fuelos. Except if it got called by, you know, then sure. But yeah, this hand is pretty nice. What we are going to do here right now, we want the Chimera Fusion. We really want that in the hand. So we are going to summon out the Mirror Sword Knight. Because if we use call by on the Fuelos, then you know, then they will draw you at your next search. So we need the Chimera Fusion in hand in order to make this hand work on the draw. Use the effect of Mirror Sword Knight. Because Mirror Sword Knight doesn't search, it summons out Gazelle, and Gazelle lets you search. Chimera Fusion. And if you get drawn here, you still have Chimera Fusion, so you can just do fusion plays. Also, you still have the summon of Apprentice, so you can go for Fiendsmith lines, you can go for a Hand Rip and Caesar and Rage on the board, which is pretty nice. So yeah, under draw, this hand can still do shit as long as you know, you access Chimera Fusion. This card still can get ashed, but you know, your opponent has to be lucky if they have Fuelos, draw and ash in hand. But yeah, called by must be used on the Fuelos if they have it, for example, because otherwise you'll give your opponent way too much advantage. And otherwise, do it on draw or do it on any hand trap, you know. But first bait. If you know they don't have Fuelos, you'll start off with Apprentice, for example, as a great bait. Or Kotl. Now we are going to use Kotl, by the way. We are going to search, you know, it doesn't really matter what you search here. I'll just go for the extra Gazelle, since Nightmare Apprentice can search Gazelle. That's really the main reason. Then we'll summon out Nightmare Apprentice by discarding the other Nightmare Apprentice. Use her effect to search. She will search out an illusion. We will go for Mirror Sword Knight, since that's the best negate in the grave, and we really want to have that in the grave because it's great. Then we'll go for Chimera Fusion. We will fuse away. You can either do it from hand or field, doesn't really matter. I'll just go from hand right now. We'll go for Chimera, use Chimera effect to hand trip in end phase. Then effect Gazelle to search. You search out another illusion. We'll go for Kotl, you know, because we already have 2 Mirror Sword Knights in graveyard. Then Chimera Fusion effect to bounce back. Activate it again. Fuse Kotl with Baphomet. Make Baphomet here. Baphomet effect to dump. Dump Harris. Harris effect to search Archfiend. Or you just send Stitch in here, you know, it doesn't really matter. Then we'll link these away. You can keep Baphomet on field to make, you know, Caesar. Which is also nice. If they have Nip here, you sadly do get punished by Nip. Yeah, you get punished by Nip here. Use Requiem effect. So many hand traps, you know, that you have to get used to. Lacrima effect. But you know, if they had Nip here, you still would have a Chimera engraved to summon Baphomet back in your opponent's turn, and then you still have the targeting negate. And the just a monster negate, which is nice. Also called by if you hadn't used it yet. Link these two off into sequence. Use the effect of sequence. Yeah, we'll fuse these two. Make Aerial Eater effect to dump. Dump for Stygian. Set. Then we'll go for Stygian effect. Summon Archfiend effect to search. We are going here for Reaper. Set the Reaper. Why wouldn't I summon Engraver first? Because for this funny interaction. Make Cross Sheep here. Use the effect of Engraver now. Shuffle back sequence. Summon, use Cross Sheep to summon, Archfiend effect to search. We are going to search here for Necromancer because we have Reaper set. Overlay these two for Wave High King Caesar. Then we have Reaper to summon. Link these two off. Into Just Moon. Necromancer effect targeting Archfiend. Archfiend effect to search. What we are going to search here is another Necromancer. It was on the top all along. And that's called by. Go for a bow here, use a bow effect. Discard summon, it's non-targeting summon for some reason. And then Necromancer summon Archfiend effect. Now we are going to search for the launcher. Activate it. Well, you can make either Yama or Muckraker here. I'll go for Yama, but without the search. Yeah, well, we'll do it without search because she'll just do beep, beep. Oh. Summon 2 Necromancer. You have the insane extension already from the double Necromancer because now you can just do whoop. Whoop. Barrier 1. Yeah. Then we'll make Rage. Other Necromancer. We'll go for Patriarch. There you are. Special out the Patriarch. Link for the Xyz for Dugares effect. Archfiend effect. Now that I think of, we shouldn't have Dugares. That's overextension and shit. Dugares was never used, guys, but we are searching Patriarch for the Infernity protection. My bad. Sorry. Sometimes I even overextend. You know, you don't need to. Link these two away for Muckraker, because now we'll just discard this, summon out Archfiend, use the effect. If you would have gone Yama lines, you would have ended on an extra break, but you know, then you would have like had to kill the set called by. But I think called by is like a great interruption. If you did use called by, you would have gone for Yama lines and you would have popped one of your Infernity names, you know. Abao comes back, of course. Then we have, you know, we don't have the Baphomet right now accessible, but for example, if Necromancer or Archfiend get outed, or you had to use Muckraker effect, you get a space and then you can directly summon it back. So if you use Muckraker, then you go for Chimera banish and a Baphomet for the 2 interruptions, which is great. And then you have again 9 interruptions, just like the other board, but the 10th if you also had called by, and if you would have gone Shalvara lines, you would also have to break. So either 11 interruptions, 10 interruptions, or 9, 10 or 11, sorry, my bad. But yeah, great board, for sure. Also with the hand trip again, so your opponent starts with 5 cards. You have double the interruptions than your opponent has on hand, which is crazy. But yeah, let's get into the third test. All right, time for the third test hand if I'm correct. I hope you are all enjoying till now. I'm doing my best, guys. Alright, let's start. Let's see what we have here. We have Polly, Engraver, Monster Reborn, Foolish Burial, and Gazelle. Wow. Monster Reborn and Foolish both in the same hand. That's crazy. Yeah, this is actually a pretty nice hand. Also, under draw you can still do shit. Which is pretty nice. Also, Foolish, Monster Reborn are insane because then, you know, you will start with Gazelle, Gazelle effect. For the Chimera Fusion, you know, if you get drawed here, you know, sure. Because then you'll just use Chimera or Poly, whichever, fuse these two away, make Chimera the Flying Mythical Beast, use Monster Reborn for Engraver. And then link that away for Requiem and just go for one hand trip, Caesar and Rage lines, which is pretty nice. But yeah, this hand is pretty custom, not gonna lie. Activate Engraver effect here. Go for Tract, use Tract, you know the drill. Tract basically reads Summon Lurry from deck. Discard Lurry, summon Lurry. Effect. Effect. Actually, what I want to do now is activate Foolish here. Where's Harris? Harris effect. Because I don't really want to fuse away Lacryma. It's too valuable. And now you also have Archfiend access, so if you get nipped later on, you have Monster Reborn for Archfiend and you just go full combo anyways. Yeah, we'll go for activate Chimera Fusion here. Fuse these two away. We're going for Gazelle here. I mean Chimera, so my bad. Activate its effect. Activate its effect. So hand trip. You could have also gone for Berfumet and then you would get the dump. But to be fair, in this hand we aren't really. Yeah, I can see if I also can come to Berfumet. I'm pretty sure I am. Sorry, we are searching for an illusion. And yeah, this hand traps in the end phase. Chimera Fusion bounces back. Then we'll just discard Chimera Fusion because we have Poly. Activate Nightmare Apprentice's effect. Yeah, we can just go to Berfumet, my bad. We can just go for Berfumet. Where are you at? I will go for Mirror Sword Knight. No, Kotal, sorry, my bad. Kotal, because Kotal then can search this and then you have the Kotal interruption also in your graveyard live. Activate regular Poly. Fuse away. Make Berfumet, Berfumet will dump. We're going to dump Stygian here to summon out Necromancer later on from hand. Then what we can do here, actually what I will do personally is use Engraver effect here now already to put back the Requiem and summon it out. Because if you get nipped here, sure, you know, why not? We have Monster Reborn for Archfiend and then just go full combo. But now we are sure we can just play safely through nip by making the Caesar here. You know, you have Berfumet under material of this card, but make sure to use the first time you use Caesar's effect, make sure to use detach Berfumet first, because then you have the Chimera summon again from graveyard to summon Berfumet back, which is really nice. This will get further on into fusing. sequence effect. We have Lurry. We have Lakima. We also have another engraver in graveyard. But you know, we'll keep the engraver. Then you can go for both of these, to be fair. I'll just go for Aerial Eater, just for the extra dump. Because if your Archfiend, for example, got Bestialed, you can now dump another Archfiend. Otherwise, we'll go for Necromancer. Then we are going to use Monster Reborn for Necromancer. Necromancer, summon out Archfiend. Archfiend effect to search. Go for Necromancer here, because this. Go for Sheep. No, first you go for Moon, my bad. Sorry, I just woke up. Then you link these two off for Cross Sheep. Because now you have the other Necromancer in grave, because what you will do now is use Stygian effect. Summon out Necromancer, then Cross Sheep will trigger, summon out the other Necromancer. Then Necromancer 1 for Archfiend, Archfiend effect to search. Search the first barrier. Then this one hasn't been used yet. Then we are going to link these off into Abau. Necromancer for Archfiend. Archfiend will search here again. You can go for a Reaper, but I'll just go for Launcher. Activate it. Go for Yama here. No need for the effect here at all. Launcher. Necromancer 1, summon Archfiend, so this has been used, Archfiend effect. Because you need the zone to link summon. Grab your second barrier. Muckraker. Archfiend. Where are you at, break? Search break. And then of course, like said, detach with Caesar the Berthelmet first, so you have the other interruptions from the graveyard. Use Muckraker effect whenever you can, so the first time it will come up, and then destroy one of your Infernity names. Or what you can do is rage with their monster and make SP banish one of your own monsters. You know, it's kind of wacky, but it is an option. For example, if you really need those, Berthelmet. If you really need Berthelmet, but otherwise it will be like this, you know. You have detached, and then you get the Chimera back, then you get the Berthelmet back. And then you have it here, you have, so in the end, this board, so like what it all does, you also still have Yama in graveyard, so if one of your cards dies, then you can just summon anything back, which is great. Yeah, when this deck goes off, it has a lot of interruption, because this is like already, I know top of my head, like 12 interruptions, I think, or something. Because of also the Yama in graveyard, but you know, it's not really an interruption, but it still is. People will try to out Yama, but you know, also you also hand trapped for one again. This deck is, crazy when it goes off. I really love this deck because it reminds me, of, so many interruptions. It reminds me of, the Appaloosa Savage Baron boards. God, I miss those times someday, but they had to be banned. Infernity retrained soon, however. But those cards are crazy. I don't think they will ever come back and see daylight again, to be fair. Maybe Savage, but that's it. Maybe with the retrain, with the rocket tuner, but let's get into the fourth test stand. I hope this really helps and is currently really helping. Let me know in the comments, of course. Let's get into the fourth test stand. Thank you all so much for watching already, by the way. Alright, fourth test hand. By the way, I forgot to say, but I went 3-1 last locals with this variant, and today I have another locals, so let's see how we do. I will be running this variant again. I only lost against Chris from Horus because I bricked one game. which sucked. And he had really good hands, sadly. But yeah, this is what it is. Every deck bricks. But shout out to my boy Nick for beating me up. He was top 16 at Dutch Nets, by the way, which is crazy. Shout outs, we are so proud of him. Called by Archfiend, Barrier, Sharvara, and Reaper. Wow, this is really an Infernity hand of all time. Yeah, it truly is. Because what you are going to do is, you know, if they have Charmies now, you know, you just called by, you know, you have to get it out. Yeah, normal summon Archfiend actually, it's real. You could have also, you know, set one first. Yeah, you could have sent one first, you know, called by. But I think called by is just a too great interruption to have right now. So go for this. Then if you got hand trapped, you activated called by, otherwise not. Go for Reaper, summon Archfiend effect to search. We'll go for the launcher. If you get drolled right now, because this is the opportunity to get drolled, you know, you can still do, you can still go for Fiendsmith lines and Antons. This time only Caesar, because you already use Sharvara. Activate launcher, but you also have a barrier set, so you can also just Infernity, of course. And if they had Fualos, a double, for example, so Fualos, chain Fualos, then, you know, you just search barrier here and pass on Sharvara and Archfiend. Go for Moon, go for Requiem effect. Where are you at? Lacrima. Effect. Dump. Summon Engraver back, shuffle back, Moon. Sequence effect. You can go for Aerial Eater here or for Juke to add back Engraver. For example, I'll just go for Aerial Eater. Aerial Eater will dump here. It will dump Necromancer. Launcher. Archfiend, Necromancer. Archfiend effect, we will do it like this. Archfiend effect to search. Archfiend will search here, another barrier. 2 barriers right now. Link these into Cross Sheep. Necromancer target the Archfiend, of course. Archfiend effect, chain Cross Sheep. Never mind. We don't have a target. We'll go for Patriarch here, because then we'll just go keep. No, make Dugares here. We are going to use Dugares effect here to summon back Engraver, because it can be any monster as long as it can be in defense, because then Cross Sheep triggers summon Archfiend. Archfiend effect to search. We will search here for another Necromancer, because, you know, we have already used Reaper, we have already used Launcher, so we have to go to a bow. But yeah, these have to go into, of course, Caesar. Make a bow effect. Summon back a Necromancer. Summon back Archfiend. Archfiend search. Yeah, you could have gone also Yama, and then for Rage, but, you know, you can't really. You rather have Caesar because it's. It really depends on the deck, you know, if Rage SP is better, but, you know, they can just kick over the Rage, but you do have the break, but, you know. It really depends on the deck if you would have gone to Yama and Rage instead of, you know, these. Instead of Caesar, I mean, sorry, my bad. Now you can go for Yama to just have the Yama. Or Muckraker for protection. I'll just go for Muckraker here, so you save Yama for the following turn. Then of course about comes back. And then you have 4 interruptions and then 6 interruptions. You know, with the hand we had, it was a really mid hand, like seen. With the hand we still end on 6 interruptions, which is pretty great. But yeah, no Chimera cards were seen right now. because of, you know, we didn't see them. You can't really, you know, you can, with aerial, you can't also really dump them. So, you know, you have to see them or not. But we are playing max names, so you should have see them most of your games, of course. But yeah, for the hand we still ended pretty great, which is nice. Yeah, depending if you, on against which deck you played, you would have, also could have ended on Rage with Yama and Graveyard. Because you have used your Vara already, you know, we can't really get the extension. But yeah, for what it is, it's pretty nice. Also, Archfiend is protected by Muckraker by battle and with Patriarch in Graveyard. Let's get into the next, I think final test hand, but I'll see how many test hands I'll do and you'll see in the video. Depending on how long it will be, because I don't want to make a too long video, because then I can just make a part 2. If you all want to, of course, let me know in the comments. Alright, time for the probably the final test hand. I might do after this one just quick showcase what to do under draw. So standard line what this deck does if you get drawn. And you don't have called by or talents, you know. But yeah, let me know, of course, if you all been liking it so far, and thank you all already for staying so long, because the video is like almost 50 minutes already, if I'm correct. But yeah, I'm trying to do these as best as possible, and if I should do it better in somehow, explain it to me. Of course, keep being nice. The best feedback is always if you say it nice, you know. But yeah, I know you all will. You all are the best. But yeah, let me know, of course, if I can do something better, and then I'll adapt to that if I like the idea. But let's get into the final test and let's see what we have here. We will have the launcher, we will have Patriarch Barrier, a Nightmare Apprentice, and Edgem Chain here. I was hoping to see Edgem Chain because I was hoping so I can do a test hand with Edgem Chain on hand, which is crazy. Yeah, I really love Edgem Chain, it's a great card. What you will do here, yeah, it is a pretty okay hand. To be fair, the only thing it does kind of lose to, if you get, it's really weird if you get drawn here, because you know, you can go, you go for, of course you'll go for Nightmare Apprentice, discard Chain, send Chain I mean, then use Nightmare Apprentice effect on summon, then Chain, because you know, Chain is sent from the hand to the graveyard, so we can search. We'll search for Patchwork. And then you can search with Nightmare Apprentice for your Guttle, of course. And if you get drawn here, you still have your normal summon, so you can still go for Fiendsmith lines. And you have Patriarch with Barrier, so... Rage plus Caesar and a Barrier set with Patriarch on board will probably be the play here if you get drawn. But if you don't, you know, activate Patchwork, this will probably, you know, if you start with discard or discard, these cards will probably be ashed, because you know you get 2 cards for free. I really love this engine. I'm a big fan of it. You know, the only like Chain, you can almost always get rid of it from hand, and then you can search out Patchwork, which is great. So it isn't really bricking if you open. Also, Poly is also nice for these. Sometimes you really need that extra extension. I really love this engine. But like said in the deck profile, if you want to cut it, cut it. It isn't mandatory at all. I just am a really big fan of it. But yeah, search Chain and Poly. Activate Guttle. Search Mirror Sword Knight here. Normal summon Mirror Sword Knight, use the effect. Because if your Gazelle gets impermed now, it doesn't matter at all. I mean, you have Poly in hand. Sure, you don't get Chimera Fusion back, but you know, it's great. It's great to have. But yeah, let's go further into the test end. Activate Chimera Fusion here. We'll fuse these two away. Go for Chimera effect to hand rip and end phase, and then activate Gazelle effect. Search out. Where are you at? Oh, just an illusion, so we will search out another Sword Knight. Activate Chimera Fusion here to add back. Then you can use it again or use Poly, it doesn't really matter. I'll just go for Chimera Fusion. Now, to be fair, we will use Poly, because if Poly gets interrupted somehow, you can chain Chimera Fusion. So we'll just go for Poly. My bad, this isn't legal, what I'm doing with the Patriarch to go Perfumet. Perfumet effect, what we are going to do here, we are dumping Archfiend directly. Why? Because we opened Launcher, so if we get nipped, later on we can just use Launcher to summon Archfiend and Patriarch back. So we are going for Archfiend here. And otherwise, if you know your opponent doesn't have nip here, you just go for dump Harris or dump Stygian, and then, you know, later on with Sequence and Aerial Eater, you dump the other one, of course, depending on which you send first. Then what we are going to do here, we're going to link these two off, of course, into, you never seen this card before. Moon, go for Requiem effect. Go for Lacrima, dump Engraver. Then with the body of the Nightmare Apprentice and with the Lacrima, we can go here into Sequence. Use the effect of Sequence. Requiem. What you could have... I'm keeping the Requiem on grave. We're making Juke here, so you can just whatever fiend. I'm so locked into the same attributes because of Aerial Eater, but just shuffle chain back. Make Juke here. Because Juke can then add the Engraver back from graveyard, which is pretty great. Set. Activate Launcher effect. Archfiend and Patriarch. Archfiend effect. Search Necromancer. Active effect Juke to summon out Necromancer. Necromancer mandatory effect to switch to defense. These should have been like this, sorry. Like, this would have been for the extra extension. Now we're just going to make Caesar with it. Because, you know, why not? But, you know, if you got nipped, then later on you could just still go combo. Because then Engraver for Tract, because you added back, which is pretty great. Juke is an insane card, by the way. Like, they were really smoking. We're keeping the Requiem in graveyard. So we can still have Lacrima. You know, if we ever need that extra body, it's still nice to have. We'll trigger Cross Sheep here, activate Archfiend effect. We have used Launcher already, but we are then going to search Reaper here to be safe. Then these two will make a Caesar, like usual. Make Yama here, Yama effect. Where is the doggo? There's the doggo. Rage. Sharvara target, this is the Chimera Fusion. Summon. Effect. Necromancer summon back Archfiend. Archfiend effect to search. We didn't use Reaper yet. So we are here going for Barrier. The second. Then we are locked in Fiends, of course, which doesn't matter at all. Like, most of the extra deck is Fiend monsters. go for a bow here, activate Reaper. Summon back the Archfiend effect. Search out another. And then we'll just do McCraker effect, summon back Archfiend effect. You could have also used a bow, doesn't really matter. And then we end on this. This is like the full board. Like this hand was crazy. Because now then also this. And there it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 interruptions, guys. Just like the old days. Yeah, that was it for the last test hand. I hope you all enjoyed all the test hands. Now I'll just do a quick showcase of what to do with the standard hand under draw. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed all the test hands and I hope you all learned from the test hands. Let's get into the draw line and that will then be the end of the video. Let me know if I should make more test hands with this variant or with whatever variant. Let me know in the comments down below and I'll make it happen as soon as possible if I like the idea. Yes, let's get into the draw. So yeah, standard hand under draw, for example, would be this. And then another card doesn't really matter, but this is all you need basically. You need Gazelle access, the extra engraver is nice, and the apprentice for the extra body, for example. And if you have more monsters, you can just fuse them away later on with the Chimera Fusion you add back for more bodies. So this would be the line, go for Gazelle, search. You get drilled here, sure you know, activate. Effect, so make Chimera effect, discard, summon, effect Chimera Fusion, add back. So where is it, huh? Moon, there it is, Moon for Requiem effect, Lacrima dump, summon back engraver, make sequence here, sequence effect, make aerial eater effect, dump Sharvara, link these off into Yama. Yama effect, add back Sharvara, use Aerial Eater effect, banish both engravers. Yeah, you do go -2 engravers, but it doesn't really matter. Also, Baphomet, for example, summons back banished, so if you go into Baphomet in the following turn, you can just summon your engravers back in the opponent's turn. You also still have 1 in deck, of course, because you are playing 3. Link these into Rage. Set the Chimera Fusion, use Sharvara. And then go Yama effect, summon back Aerial Eater. And there it is. Caesar Rage and a hand trip for 1. Also in your opponent's turn, this guy can banish itself and then summon either Apprentice back, Sequence or Gazelle. I would go then for Apprentice, then Apprentice can search another illusion monster for the following turn. And yeah, that's it. That's what you can do under draw, which is pretty nice. Hand trip for 1 and still like 1, 2, 3, 5, and then with the hand trip, so like 5 interruptions and a hand trip for 1, which is pretty nice. Under draw still, but you know, yeah, draw is our biggest enemy. I hope I will see draw soon on the ban list. Please, Konami, draw is a real problem. Everybody is main decking it. But yeah, that's why I recommend to play the Unchained package in almost every Fiendsmith variant, because it's the engine that allows you to play more under draw, which is nice, and lets you end in general this, and this is just, of course, always for Chimera. But yeah, that was it for the video. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all learned. Thank you all so much for watching again. I'll see you all in the next video, which will probably be Master Duel Chimera Fiendsmith Infernity. And otherwise it will be in real life gameplay with the deck. But let me know, of course, what you all would like to see next. And if I like the idea, I will make it happen as soon as possible. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for the support. You are all the best. And if you stay till the end of the video, you are a real one for real. Yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all learned. See you in the next one. Infernity Best Deck. Infernity for life. Forever and always. Hell yeah.